been 12 weeks since my last Dupixent shot until today. I'll tell you why I took my Dupixent shot again after 12 weeks of being without it. You guys know how my skin is doing since taking it and my future plans for this thing, this $24,000 medication. Are you one of you? This is the channel for you. My name is Victoria, and I just want you guys to know I'm not a doctor, life coach, or any of the thing. I'm just a girl on the internet that has eczema that wants to share with you guys because there's just not enough eczema content out there in the world. And if you're like anything like me, I binge watch this stuff because I just want to know, and I think we can learn so much from each other's experiences. So real quick, if you want to know more about Dupixent, I have a whole playlist called Dupixent Tales that takes you from me starting the medication, me on the medication, me stopping the medication, me withdrawing from the medication, and now I'm back on. All right, so why did I start Dupixent? Basically because I have eczema. I'm using Dupixent to manage my eczema. It is a very expensive medication. It is one of the safer options for eczema. However, I didn't want to get hooked on it the long term. Right? Originally when I started, it was great. It really healed things up pretty quickly. I felt like I was already on my way to healing my skin, but I just kind of thought it would like boost me, like a fast track, you know? I don't have severe eczema, but I'm also not like perfect skin. So I thought that maybe this would be like, kind of bring me into the promised land, so to speak. I started taking it, and so it was so far so good. And then I started to get the notorious eye flares. And so I was just kind of like, I don't think I really want to use that anymore. It's very hot in this room where I do my filming, but it's okay. I got my trusty Hypocolorus spray. If you haven't watched my videos, you will know that I'm like the biggest fan of Hypocolorus spray. And a new one that I've been using is called Element 11 or something like that. I stopped my Dupixent, and to be honest, all was good. Like, you can go watch my videos, like my skin was holding up pretty well. And I tend to eat a very good diet. I even went on this 7-day collagen fast, and you know, it was great. Collagen and water fast, and really reset my gut health. Then I started eating like garbage. Like, I don't usually eat gluten, I don't usually eat dairy, I don't usually have wheat, but I just kind of went off the deep end and started eating that regularly. And so my skin started to look pretty bad, and it happened pretty quickly. Like, I did my week 11 update, and I would say within 3 days, my skin was not looking so hot anymore. I basically had a commitment that was gonna need me to be in full health. Like, I would have had to be swimming. There's a lot of things I was gonna have to do that week that I'm like, I can't afford to have my skin flaring. So I took my shot again. I said, I'm gonna take my shot because, once again, quality of life versus I needed my quality of life to be good that week. And it just wasn't worth trying to thug out the flare. So I took the shot, and I was also kind of curious to see, like, would the shot work? How would it work? How maybe now I could space my injections every 12 weeks. Who knows? Like, I was just interested in that. So curiosity definitely killed it. Today is the day that I am going to break my 11-week Dupixent shot streak, and I'm sure looking at me, you're thinking, why? Like, you look great. So I'm gonna have to come a little bit closer, just for you guys to see. My eyes are acting up. My neck, it feels like sore to touch. If you see my video of where I talk about TSW and the atmospheric shifts, that's kind of what it feels like. Not on full-blown TSW level at all, but it just feels like I can feel the inflammation. My hands, they're definitely like bumpier than they were. This kind of is rough again. Yeah, and then my arms. Okay, so my arms, something new. Yeah, I need better lighting or something. But the discoloration from scratch. And if I didn't have this commitment next week, I would try to push through and see what I'd be looking like. But because I have a commitment next week, I don't need the drama. I don't need the drama. I always say quality of life is most important. So here we go. We're gonna take the shot. I'm gonna be honest, I feel a little bit nervous. My mentality for taking it, of course I'm gonna thing the area right now, is that I will hopefully only have to take it once, and then I'm gonna try to stretch out again. I don't plan on taking this like every 2 weeks. Pull off the lid. All right, you can't really see, but I have like a chunk right here. And let's go 1, 2, 3, push it in. And then we wait for the click. It's hurting. It's actually hurting. It's hurting. I let it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull it out. And that's it. Your girl has officially gone 11 weeks without a shot. Now I've taken this one. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep you guys updated. So here I am, week 11. I took my shot, and here I am now, I guess technically 2 weeks later. So technically this is like almost week 13. So I took my shot almost 2 weeks ago, and during the process, at first I felt like I didn't take a loading dose. With Dupixent, you'd have to take 2 shots. I'm going to my stomach because that's where I take my Dupixent shots. You take 2. I just took 1, even though it had been like almost 12 weeks. When I first took Dupixent, I noticed it worked right away, like by the next day. I didn't notice that when I just took the 1 dose. So maybe that's the whole reason you take a loading dose. But I will say, over the process of the last 2 weeks, I did notice my skin gradually get better. The itch had come down, and that was what was ramming up again, was the itch. I tend to get dysphoriatic. I can never say these things. You know, the blistery eczema on your hands. I was getting like those little bumps again, very itchy. I was just always itchy again. So I have noticed that the itch has gone down. I am still itchy, but it's like more of a normal itch. Before it felt like I'm itching again all the time. Now I am now trying to bring myself back into a good diet, and next week I'm going to be doing the whole ChatGPT picked my diet. I'm going to eat the diet plan. You can go watch the video where I kind of discuss what ChatGPT suggested, but next week I'm going to follow it to a T. Now at almost 2 weeks since my last shot, my skin is not normal, and I don't think Dupixent ever made my skin like perfect, but it was perfect for me. Like, I felt it's not as inflamed, it's not as rough. Something I noticed about my skin is that whenever I go into like the shower or into water, all the places that I have eczema go white, and there's like a lot of shedding. I think that's happening. I also have like hypopigmentation. I think that's what it's called. This is something since having Dupixent. I don't think I had it before, where the areas of eczema, once they heal, they're lighter than other places. So that's something I've tanned a lot this summer. I've been in the sun to protect my skin, but just being at the beach and swimming a lot, just noticed I have a lot of that discoloration. Even like here, you can't really tell, but it's a little bit lighter in that spot. That used to be a spot that'd be darker. I will say, if this is cause of the Dupixent, I prefer hypopigmentation than hyperpigmentation. Am I gonna keep taking Dupixent? I feel like I really need it, then I will take it. And if I don't feel like I really need it, then I'm not gonna take it. That's kind of my mentality behind it. As best as I can not take it, then I will. Like I said, that week I really needed to feel better, and I just didn't have the time, energy, or care to want to deal with my skin. I was like, no, I'm gonna take the shot and, you know, hope for the best. That week I had been so busy, I still wasn't eating well. So I don't think that I would have held up as well if it had not been for the shot. I just also wanted to share some like recent new things that I've been using on my skin that I think are helping, and a new way that I'm applying. You guys know that I love my Glycerin and aloe vera gel. So I bought this Glycerin. It's just like vegetable glycerin. And typically I would mix it with this and this 50-50. And it's just like you have to pour, and I felt like a scientist. But now I just take this right out of the shower. Make sure your skin is wet, and then I will apply it, and it's sticky. And then I will use the aloe vera gel after the fact, and then I will spray myself down with Hypocolorus spray. And I find that method to be very helpful, and for some, like more moisturizing than when I mixed it 50-50. I'll have to go back and see, but it feels like it's more moisturizing because maybe I'm using more of this. Maybe the layering works a bit better than 50-50. It's just something new that I have been doing. My eye flares since taking the Dupixent again, my eyes they give trouble and then they don't. They give trouble. It's always an ebb and flow. So I don't think there's anything new there. I will say maybe a couple of days into taking my shot, after my shot, I did notice that my actual eyeballs felt dry. So I had to start using eye drops again. That was probably for like 4 days and then it subsided. Now my eyes feel completely fine. My skin feels completely fine. The plan, don't hold me to it, but the plan is eat my anti-inflammatory chat GPT diet. I'll probably do another fast, maybe not like a week long, because I already have lost weight since that. I don't want to lose much more weight, but maybe I'll do like a 2 or 3 day fast to after a week of my diet, and then go back into my diet, and then we're gonna see. I definitely know that the diet played a huge role into why my skin flared, and I am officially allergic to nuts, because anytime I eat nuts, I get unbelievably itchy, and it's very sad. I haven't been tested for it, but I've done it enough times to anecdotally know that that's what the problem is. But I am going to look into some allergy testing. Comment down below if you have gotten any allergy tests, what allergy tests you suggest. I'm definitely interested. But anyway, there I am, 12 weeks. I took my shot. I don't regret it. I was happy to see that I was able to go to withdraw from Dupixent for 12 weeks and have nothing nefarious and scary happen. Because I think that's also something that you worry about, like when you're using these types of medications. You guys know, like I like to rotate my skin product, everything. If I'm using a medication, we're gonna rotate it. We're not gonna use anything for too long for your body to really get a handle on it. So I do think that in a sense it was good, and I'm glad that my skin was able to hold up. So if I can start to only take a shot once every 12 weeks, well look, that's only 4 shots a year. That's better than taking, I don't know how many shots that is, 24 shots a year. I would prefer that. It's probably better for my body. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Next video, I am going to actually be discussing what I like to call the messy middle of eczema. And what it is that you can either be flaring or you're healed, but there's this messy middle in between that many of us have to work through and thrive through. And I just wanted to speak to that. So look out for that video. And until next time, see you guys later.